Here comes the boom, here comes the boom, here comes the boom, here comes the boom, here comes the boom.
Okay, what's good, Boom Crew? It's your girl, Annie Boom Fanny, and we're gonna do a little story time or whatever. Now, you know that I have this cat. I don't even call her by her name no more. Love her. You hear her. That's why my floors be looking tore up. She run around scraping up the floor all fucking day, acting crazy. Anyway, so I'm gonna tell y'all the story of how I became a teen mom, right? I'm eating in this video because I'm hungry, and right after this I have to go to the gym. So if I don't do this now, I don't know when I'm gonna do it. So if you got a problem with that, click off the video. Okay, so today's video features Utz chips, wavy, hell of a good, butternut ranch potato chips. These shits is wow good, y'all. If I'm a little distracted, it's because the crackheads outside. I already opened up the bag. I opened up the bag when I got them, when I was walking up the hill. Right outside. Green machine, naked. 270 calories per bottle. No added sugar. Natural. And then I got a ham, salami, and cheese on a roll with mayo, cold. So you don't get no more New York than this, y'all. Alright, so boom. I just came from my boo house, y'all. I'm sorry I'm taking so long to get to the story. Look what I have packed in my bag. Turn up. Oh yeah. Y'all can't even really see them because they all rolled up and everything. I had these tights on. You know, you gotta spice it up. You feel me? Oh, I washed my hands already. I went in the back for the wet wipe. Showing y'all other shit. So, I'm hungry. Oh, I had my son at 17. I got pregnant with my son when I was 16. My son's birthday is in February. My birthday is in January. I just want y'all to get an idea of our age, my age. So I met my son's father when I was 14. I met my son's father through somebody else. He was related to somebody that I know. And when he came around, it's like all my friends liked him. We all liked the nigga, right? He was just, at that time, we all felt that he was good looking. Like, he was like built. He had little cuts in his stomach, like, you know, little abs and shit. Little brolic nigga. And I was like, I'm gonna get this nigga. So I was just being a fresh ass little girl. And we actually was together. We was so-called together because we was young. I don't know what the fuck we call ourselves doing. But our relationship was like a basic hood-ass, ghetto-ass fucking relationship. We would fight, argue. But we couldn't get enough of each other. We was together almost every day. I would cut school, be with him in his cousin's house. He would hang out with me and my friends. He literally became just one of the homies. Like, you saw me, you saw him. That's it, right? So, when I first got with him, I'm not going to say what age I lost my virginity, but I am going to tell you the first time I got pregnant. The first time I got pregnant is when I was 14 years old. I got pregnant at 14, and it was by him, and I was going to a school called Roosevelt, one of the baddest high schools in New York at the time. So, when I got pregnant the first time, I had an English teacher who thought the world of me. Like, he was literally like a low-key father. His wife knew me, everything, because he saw so much potential in me. Because I've always been advanced academically. Like, you would always be able to, I don't know, I just always excelled in academics. My problem was that I had mental and personal issues that I would allow to distract me. Like, home issues, like, you know, with my mother and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of teachers that I came across in my life that would try to tell me, like, you know, why don't you do this? You do so well. You're so smart. And I just couldn't stay on the right track. Personal life, and then I started meeting boys, having sex or whatever. You know. Same old hood story. Girl don't know her daddy. She looking for love in the street type shit. So, this, one teacher, when he found out I got pregnant when I was 14, he said, you have your whole life ahead of you. I don't think you should do this. Blah, 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 right? So, me and my son's father, he tells me, the teacher convinces me that, you know, I shouldn't be having this baby, right? The teacher, his wife, and my son's father, we all go down to Planned Parenthood. I know this sounds crazy. My mother did not know anything about this. The school kind of knew. I'm gonna tell you the background story, but the school kind of knew. But we all went down to the clinic. Now, during this time that I was pregnant, my mother had an open ACS case. So when my mother had the open ACS case, we weren't supposed to be with her, or it was like an investigation of some sort. But I wasn't too in a loop as to the severity of it because I was never home. I was like spending the night out, always up the block at my friend's house. I would avoid my home life if I could. I just avoided the shit. Like, so one day I go home and my mother, she got an active ACS case. So with that being said, when I was in school, the ACS worker came and I had a shirt on and my stomach, I was always like really slim and skinny, but my stomach was popping out. It was like obvious that I was pregnant. So the ACS worker comes, and when she comes, it just so happened that I had gotten into an altercation with the security guard. The security guard hemmed me up. I know this sounds outrageous, but this was like the shit that y'all read in these books about black girls doing this. That was me, okay? So the day of the altercation, there was somebody fighting, and then a security guard ran past me, but he hit me in my stomach, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? So he then diverts his attention from the fight to me. He pushes me against the wall. This is a grown-ass man, y'all. He pushed me against the wall. My shirt opened up. So everybody really saw that I was pregnant. So even bitches that I had beef with was on my side. Was like, yo, get off her. She pregnant. Whatever. So as a result, the school ended up trying to contact my mother. This is that and the third. But the ACS worker came. When the ACS worker came and she saw I was pregnant, she was like, you pregnant? This, that, and the third. And I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. She was asking me a mad question. I was just being bad. Like, no, bitch. Like, I'm not with the shits. I'm not telling on nobody. I'm not telling on my mother. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I was giving her hassle. So with that, with the situation that I was going through, and with my teacher telling me, you know, I don't think you should, that's when I decided that I should have an abortion, right? Life. So I go to Planned Parenthood and I'm getting the procedure done, and I remember thinking in my head, I'm never doing this shit again. That's what I was thinking. I said, I'm never doing this shit again. That shit was traumatizing. It was so much young girls in there. They wake you up all rude and shit because you under anesthesia. The procedure took mad long. When I woke up, I was sick as a fucking dog. Like, I was throwing up my guts. Right after that, I started to have nightmares. Apparently, that's one of the side effects of when you take, like, abortion pills or something like that. You start to have nightmares. So I was seeing, like, a baby, like, all butchered in my dreams and shit. Shit was wild. It was fucking crazy. So after the procedure was done, I go downstairs. My son's father, I'm not gonna say his name, so I'm just gonna call him my son's father. My son's father is looking like he's about to lose his mind because he's like, why the fuck did it take so long? What's wrong? Like, he was trying to get answers because he really thought that something was wrong. So I'm not gonna get too much into details about that because it's kind of disturbing. But I'm gonna tell y'all, that was a fucked up situation. So the same day, I told you I was avoiding my home life. So my mother had told me that I need to bring my ass home. She went to see me and check up on me, right? So I go to my house and I make sure I bring my friends so that way I can leave back out with them. Because I did not like staying home. So I go there. And I don't give a fuck what condition your mother is in. Your mother knows. That's it. My mother knows. Your mother knows. That's it. It does not matter. She saw me. She was like, what's wrong? So I said, nothing. She was like, why you look so pale? Mind you, I just finished throwing up my fucking guts. I was sick. I could barely walk. She said, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing's wrong. So she's sizing me up. But she know me. Once you pull, once you push, I pull. I'm not with the shits. We doing the opposite. So she ain't really pressed the issue because she ain't feel like going through it, like giving me a hard time because she knows that I was one of those children that I ain't get smart out the mouth, but I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. And I'm still like that to this day. Don't force me to do nothing I don't want to do, and don't talk to me any old type of way because you're not gonna win. I was like that even as a kid. I wasn't outright disrespectful to my mother, but I would give her pain because I felt the way about certain treatments that I was getting, right? And I know it sounds crazy, but you know, just the way the way she conducted herself at the time when she was my mother, it was not a healthy thing, right? That's the reason why she got ACS cases. So she left it alone. So that's the first time I got pregnant. So after that, fast forward, I get pregnant again, right? I think I was 15 by the same person. I get pregnant with it because we was together. Get pregnant again. I had told him that I'm pregnant. I told him that I think I'm pregnant. I didn't officially take the test, but I knew the symptoms at that point because I just experienced it. Me and him get into an argument This man digs his hands into my stomach. I'm saying this man, he was a boy at the time. We was both teenagers. So he's 3 years older than me. So do the math. So he digs his freaking hands into my stomach. Excuse me. The next day I go to school. I go to use the restroom. It's clots of blood in the toilet. And I'm almost 1,000% sure I had a miscarriage. To this day, it's not confirmed. But from what I saw, I had a miscarriage. I know I did. Because we was arguing or something like that. And he would do little malicious shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like my son's father was at the time, I don't know how he is now, how he conducts himself in a relationship. But he would do wild, crazy, little abusive shit. Right? So I had a miscarriage. So now I'm like, you know, at that point I'm like, this is, you know, I wasn't thinking nothing of it. I'm thinking that this is the way a relationship works. What do I know about how you're supposed to be treated? So the ACS case is still going on. So I got to the point where ACS actually had to take me away, take my mother's rights away. And we was all separated and put in different places. My younger sister was put into a group home. I went with my aunt. My younger brother went with his godparent, I believe. My other younger brother went with his godmother. Like, we was all split up. So I had started living with my aunt. And right after when I started living with my aunt, I realized that I was pregnant again. Now, I want to make something clear. I was on birth control. I was on the pill. We had used condom. The condom has broke. I was getting Depo shots. I was still getting pregnant. I was still getting fucking pregnant. How? Whatever. So when I found out I was pregnant the third time, the two previous experiences were so fucked up and traumatic to me that I said, I'm keeping this baby. That's it. I'm keeping this baby. So I'm at my aunt's house. I'm pregnant. But for some reason or another, when I'm pregnant, my stomach does not show until I'm a good 5 months. But when it shows, it like comes out of nowhere. Like I could go to sleep, my stomach could be regular looking, and then I wake up and my stomach be like, bam, like, damn bitch, how many months are you pregnant? Like, so when I got pregnant that time, when I actually decided to have the baby, at that point, when I found out, I was already like 3-4 months, but you couldn't really see it. I was just sleeping a lot, sleeping OD. So my aunt started acting a little funny style. My sister had eventually left the group. Oh no, my sister was with us. And then my sister didn't like the way my aunt was acting. So my aunt told her that she couldn't be there. And my little sister went into a group home, right? So I was there and I was trying to stay in my little space because I didn't want to be in that situation. I did not want to be in a group home. But my aunt had already made her mind up. She already had collected the money that she wanted to collect for having foster kids. And she was making issues out of nothing, basically. So my caseworker had came and was like that I need to leave out. I need to be removed, and that they was gonna find a place for me to go, right? So I said, she was like, if you don't leave out, we're gonna have to call the cops. So when she said that she was gonna call the cops, I guess my aunt was like, no, don't do that, whatever. So that's when I decided to go upstate. Because I did not want to leave upstate. I did not want to leave New York City. So I go upstate. And this gave me the advantage because now I can hide my pregnancy. So the only people that know that I'm pregnant is, at the time, she was my best friend, that person and her family. The caseworkers and them was not coming all the way upstate. It was still their case, but they wasn't coming up. They were doing phone interviews. So I had my son upstate. My son's father actually moved upstate and was staying with me in my best friend's house. My best friend's mother wasn't getting checked for me initially. And when you have a foster kid, if you don't know, you collect, the state gives you money, and that money is supposed to come with room and board and food and expenses and stuff like that. But it's a whole process. You have to take parenting classes, on and on. So it wasn't an ideal living situation, but I had eventually like got my own little room, and it was okay. The problem was, it was just not an environment for a pregnant person to be in. And like, it was stressful to me. I was homesick. I had a situation with my mother, brothers and sisters all spread out, and then I go there and then it's kind of like, it just wasn't the best environment. It wasn't helpful. It wasn't conducive to my health. Because there would not be no food some days, like stuff like that. Like, I appreciate the fact that she took me in, but she wasn't getting money. So like, I was literally hungry some days. My best friend was working at McDonald's. Best friend at the time was working at McDonald's. She would steal food, bring it home, and I would eat that, or I would eat like canned foods and shit like that. So anyway, what ended up happening? So eventually her mother started getting checks, right? So one day, me and her is at the mall, and somebody else is at the mall. We see her mother with her man, and they going shopping. She getting him beepers, they doing it. I finally asked her, I said, so you got the money for me? Mind you, I ain't have no fucking maternity clothes. I'm wearing jeans, but I'm wearing jeans and leaving the zipper part open. So basically the top of my coochie is out because I don't have no maternity clothes. My jacket was too small, so my stomach was hanging out the bottom. I got pictures of this shit too. So I had asked her, she was like, oh yeah, but they this, that, and third. So once I started asking her for money, that's when it kind of started going downhill. Sorry if I'm spitting, y'all. And I remember one day I was trying to come in. I visited New York, and I was coming in, coming upstairs. I had my son. And I was trying to go through the front door with the stroller, and she would not let me. She felt the way, I don't know what it was. She made me go all the way around the back. In the back, it was these long steps that you had to go up, and the steps was like creaky, cracky, like unsafe. And I had to carry that stroller with my son up the stairs. I never really knew what the fucking issue was. You getting money for me, but you don't want to give me the money, so now you're starting to act funny. So that's when I said, I called my caseworker. I said, I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to be here no more. I started explaining to them what was happening, and she didn't want me there no more. And I left, so I came down here, and I was living with this Dominican lady that didn't speak a lick of fucking English. And me and my son, at that time, my son probably was going on one at this point. So now I'm in another foster home with my son. And my son's father is doing his little hustling thing or whatever. But he nickel and diming. He not really getting nothing. But one thing about my son's father, he never disappeared out of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, before I had the baby and after I had my son, he never disappeared out of my life. There was a time where it was like, of course, we had our shit going on. But he never disappeared. He never not once tried to claim that wasn't his baby. He never did none of that. So, anyway, so when I got down here, my son's father had already moved back down here because when we was up there, we had gotten into a domestic violence dispute, and he fled and came down here. So I got down here. He's already down here. So when I'm in a foster home, I'm trying to keep in contact with him so he could like buy my son Pampers and, you know, see his son or do whatever. So the foster mother had an issue because he had called the house one day looking for me. And she was like, oh, he can't call the house. And I was like, that's my son's father. Like, how am I'm not supposed to keep contact? You didn't give me money for a cell phone. So she started getting money for me and withhold certain stuff or didn't want to do certain stuff. So that's how I ended up. When I had my son, I moved down here. I had got a job as a home health aide. I got my GED. I ended up getting another job in a call center. Like, I was on my bullshit because I was like, they said once you get a job and you turn a certain age that you can get your own apartment. So that's the type of time that I was on. So when I'm living with this lady, she don't speak English. She's like always constantly making remarks about my body, about how nice my shape is, but she wasn't doing it in a complimentary way. It was kind of like an envious way. She had a husband. Her husband was a sweetheart. But she was just like, she was more like one of those Dominican ladies that wore mad lipstick and was worried about her shape and her butt, you know, that type of. So I was like, she would have people over and they would all speak in complete Spanish. And so I would just stay in my room. And I'm like, it was water bugs in there because we was in the fucking basement. Water bugs and rats. And if you don't know me, nigga, that's one thing I don't play with. So I was like uncomfortable there. She told my caseworker that I'm not being social. This, that, and the third, that I don't come out the room. I said I don't come out the room because nobody speaks English. And so she tried to say, well, you understand and you speak a little Spanish. Yeah, but I'm not about to be sitting there making myself look stupid, struggling, speaking my little Spanglish. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you was taking advantage of the little bit of Spanish I know. Like, I don't know that much for it to be a full-blown conversation. Everybody speaking fucking Spanish. No, I can't even communicate with you. So that's one of the reasons why she claimed that she didn't want to give me the money, the monthly allowance. I forgot how much it was, like $76, which was some bullshit, because I wasn't acting social or this, that, and the third. Mind you, I was going to work, going to school, I was doing my thing, I was in BMCC, I was going, like, I was not misbehaving. So she was just looking for a reason. Like, she went to DR, went and got her son was like treating my son bad, and I had to tell her, like, sis, you better get your son. So she ended up having to beat her son's ass one day because I told her, like, if you don't do it, I'm a wail on your fucker. And the boy was 9 years old. I was gonna beat the brakes off that little boy because I caught him. He had hit my son one day. My son, like 2 years old. I'm coming home and my son got scratches on his face, because her other little son, she had a son that was around the same age as my son, but he was bigger. He was like fat and he was a fucking bully. So she letting them fight. Why are you letting them fight to the point that my son got scratches on his fucking face? So after she did the shit with my son's father calling, saying that he can't call, I put my son in that gray coat fucking stroller. Yeah, I know the strollers, GRACO, the big goofy shit. Put in the stroller, packed a little bit clothes, packed some Pampers, put that shit in. Bitch, it was 11 o'clock at night. Me and my son out in the street. I'm going. That's one thing about me. I don't give a fuck what you did for me, what you doing for me, or whatever. If you not treating me right in between time, in the meantime, bye. I don't give a fuck who you are. So, I packed my son up, and I called his father. I go to his father's house. His father had a little room. He was renting out a room. I go to his house, and he's like, oh, you can stay here, but you gotta have sex with me. This is, mind you, I'm in the street with my son walking around, don't know where to go. So I finally figured out, okay, I could stay with my son's father. Mind you, we not together, we broken up. He done cheated on me and all that domestic violence shit, but he was still there, trying to be there, or somewhat there for his son, right? So I go there, and he telling me that I can't stay there. That my son could stay there, but I can't stay there because I don't want to have sex with him. So what does Annie do? Annie packs her shit and she leaves with her son. I want to talk about pride, bitch. My pride level is on 1,000. I'm calling my best friend Lisa, the one with the glasses. I told her, she was like, just come to my house. I go to her house, and I was staying in her house a little while, and what I ended up doing is letting my son stay with my son's father. My son's, like, his grandmother. Basically, my son's father, his mother. I let my son stay with his grandmother until I got things together. So I was staying at my best friend's house for a little minute. And then I started living with my cousin because I had to leave my best friend's house because her brothers started acting a little funny naturally because there's another person in the house. You know what I'm saying? I don't work. Like, I gotta eat their food, so it was just gonna be an issue. So I started staying with my older cousin. And I stayed at his house not even, I don't know how long, only a couple of months. And right after that, I turned 17, I got my apartment. And all of that happened within maybe not even a year. Like right after I left upstate and I started staying with that Dominican lady and she started acting the way she acted, and I had left and I was in the street, and then I tried to stay with my son's father, and then I started staying with my best friend, and then I stayed with my cousin. I got my apartment. And I've been in this apartment ever since. Yeah, my son, when I did give birth to my son, I was in high school. I ended up dropping out of high school in the 11th grade. But I was in math class. I started having contractions. They put me in an alternative school because I had gotten into a fucking fight while I was pregnant. That's a whole nother story. And when I was in the alternative school in math class, I'll never forget, I was sitting there. When I woke up in the morning, I was having contraction, but I still went to school. I went to the nurse's office. She told me to take my pants off. She looked. She said, you gotta go. I gave birth upstate. And you know that song, I'll take you to the candy shop. That's the song that I was playing when I was giving birth. Upstate hospitals are nice. It's like a room. Like, you get your own. It's like a living room, basically. They got couches, a nice TV, all that. My son was 8 pounds, 8 ounces, 21 inches long. Big ass dick, black ass balls, big ass lips, fat ass nose. Jet black hair with a little Superman curl right there. 17 years old, I gave birth. So, I know this story is a summary. It feels like a summary because I didn't really get into detail and I'm not so enthusiastic. But there's some stuff that's so disturbing. I don't think I should be talking about it because I don't want people to feel that I'm promoting teen pregnancy or certain behaviors. And also I find that YouTube kind of censors you. Like if they feel that your video is discussing something that they feel is too inappropriate, they would demonetize you. Too much going on. So I just told y'all the gist, but I just giving y'all like a scoop of how I ended up having my son at 17 and what I went through. By the time I got my apartment, and by the time I was able to move in and things like that, my son was, I think, 2 or going on 2. So that is my life story. Nah, it ain't my life story, but if you've been through it, you know the deal. Anyways, y'all, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to me crunching and sipping and chewing. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. That means I'm going to have to do 3 giveaways because I was supposed to do one when I hit 1,000 subscribers. I didn't do it. I only did the 500 subscribers. I was supposed to do one when I hit 1,500 subscribers. And I got to do one when I hit 2,000 subscribers. So I got 3 giveaways that I owe y'all. Well, 2. And I'm on my way to 3. Okay? So let's make that happen, y'all. Thank you for watching.